again, everybody. I'm Chris Berman. Welcome to week lucky number 7 of NFL Prime Time. With me, my compatriots, as always, Vita Blue, Tom Jackson. To my left, the Judge Bill Lance Pito on my right. And I tell you what, a lot of interesting results early on in the National Football League. 5-1 Minnesota against 0-5 Tampa Bay. I mean, who cared if Tony Dungy was Dennis Green's longtime defensive coordinator? The Bucs had Trent Dilfer. 1 touchdown, 10 interceptions going into this game. The Vikings had Warren Moon. 43,000 yards career passing. A laugher at the sombrero? That's why they play the games. And at the sombrero, the Bucs have had 3 home games and scored all of 16 points. So I've been, other than not Jet fans, because, well, that's a tough call for anybody. Bucs fans is tough enough. First quarter, Warren Moon to Chris Carter, and watch this. He laterals, but correctly called forward to Jake Reed, but he forward lateral to Amp Lee. 1 lateral good, 1 lateral bad. Bring it back. 40 seconds left in the first. Robert Smith, and watch him accelerate here on the outside side.
Yeah, every time he gets to the outside, boom, he always beats everybody to the end zone. He has the burst that you look for as a coach.
Smith had 133 yards. The Vikings lead at 7-0. Third quarter, 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Again, it's Smith. Now watch him make the move on John Lynch. Whoop, 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 whoop. And he's down to the 32-yard line of Tampa Bay. But Scott Sisson missed a field goal, so no harm, no foul for the Bucs. Bucs take over on the 31. Trent Dilfer, as he's driving. Oh, my goodness. He's going to throw it to the end zone, and Rob Thomas is going to catch it. Touchdown. The first Bucs touchdown in 9 quarters. We're tied at 7. Under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, as Dilfer cannot believe it. Watch this. A sap sack. You've heard of sad sack? A sap sack. Warren Sapp is 5th of the year. And the Vikes settle for a field goal on this drive. It's only 10-7. The Bucs trail in the fourth quarter. Usually it's time for them to capitulate. But watch Mike Alstott, the fullback, the rookie, take boom, boom, and dive around the cone. A great play, 14-10 Bucs.
Yeah, Alstott has shown great effort throughout the losing streak. The thing you look for as a coach. And look at him take on tacklers, getting down the football field, keeping himself in bounds, presence of mind to put the ball around the cone for a touch.
And he drives the linebacker, Brady, into the end zone with him. Then Moon, picked off by Melvin Johnson. It goes back a little bit because of a penalty, but it enables the Bucs to drive deep. Don't tell me again. Thomas catches the pass from Dilfer. Touchdown. Trent Dilfer has thrown 3 touchdown passes. 21-10 the Bucs. Under 7 minutes to go, Moon finds Kadri Ismail. Boom! It's a fumble. Boom! It's a fumble. He holds on. Leads the Viking field goal 21-13. So they get a touchdown on a 2-point conversion they can tie. Just over 2 minutes to go. Warren Sapp. It's a fumble. Chidi bang bang Ahanatu falls on it. And the Bucs, you know, they got to learn this Gatorade thing. They kind of missed right there. But Tony Dungy, congratulations, as Husted adds a field goal, and the Buccaneers beat the Minnesota Vikings 24-13. 3 straight years they've beaten them once. This time they didn't do it in overtime. Trent Dilfer, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And Tommy, congratulations to Tony Dungy, because it was a long time coming. And you pointed out this morning, he knew the Vikings, and we weren't sure which way the advantage would go.
Well, when I talked with Tony yesterday, he thought it might be a wash, but I think today his familiarity with the Vikings certainly paid off for the Buccaneers. The main thing that he wanted to do was take Chris Carter away. Chris had 3 catches today. The one was marred by the illegal lateral, but he kept him in check and kept him out of the end zone. The other thing he wanted to do, begin to assess Trent Dilfer. And he said, I've got my offensive line in place now. I've got a pretty good solid running back. If I can get the receivers involved, let's see how he'll play. Well, he played awfully well today. You
know what Dennis Green's going to be concerned about? By the way, Dilfer, I think, had the biggest raise in one game of a quarterback rating possible. But in 3 straight games, Minnesota, 10 against the Giants, 14 against Carolina, 13 against Tampa Bay.
That's right.
Dennis is not going to be pleased with that.
That's right. Well, we've been watching Warren Moon play, and even though the numbers seem to stack up, I think that we all look at his play overall, and he's not doing exactly what Dennis Green wants him to do.
Well, so the Bucs have a win, and the Vikings fall to 5-2. When we roll on, plenty to come. Chris Sanders and the Oilers. Tell you what, you don't know the names, but you know the result. The Oilers become tough every week. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar running tough in the paint. Golf, Bills.
Australia's Great Barrier Reef. You don't need fins to swim under it. You don't need wings to fly over it. You don't need 4 legs to run through it. But you just might need to bring this. Because Reef Watch Air Tours, Wild Track Jeep Safaris, and Pro Sail Schooners will take you on the ride of your life. But they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Sad, isn't it? Finding out you paid too much for your stereo. Circuit City, you can't find a lower price. We guarantee it.
Remember when phone calls were simple? Well, AT&T's making them simple again. Calls from home are one low rate all the time.
Are you saying one rate all the time?
Yeah.
This is from AT&T?
Yeah, it's 15 cents a minute, no restrictions. To anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Daytime?
All the time.
After my nap?
Anytime.
To anybody?
Everybody in America at any time.
953.
Why is this so hard to understand?
No restrictions, no games. The AT&T one-rate plan.
The Oilers at the Falcons. Well, each team has a George. Eddie George plays for Houston. Jeff George sits for Atlanta. And as they used to say at the Democratic Convention, where was George? It's better to have a George playing than sit. The Oilers felt right at home as the Falcons crowds kind of looked like the Astrodome. Jamal Anderson last week was unbelievable for Atlanta, Tommy. But look at Michael Barrow and company stack him up. Here he strings the line out and makes a play. It stops Anderson in his tracks, which is no small feat. And then he comes around right tackle Dave Richards, sacks Bobby Hebert. Barrow playing well. And then Darrell Lewis makes a beautiful interception on Hebert. And he could go all the way. He goes a lot of it. He goes down to the Atlanta 38, setting up a field goal.
Yeah, great technique by Darrell Lewis. Look at him focus on the receiver, read the pattern, step in front, shows a great set of hands, and puts the ball away later on in this run.
Even the diehard Falcons. Houston offense, first play from scrimmage. Well, Chris Chandler looks one way, fires out in the right flat to Eddie George, and look at the Heisman Trophy winner. Get rid of one tackle, move up for a first down. Jeff Fisher says, you know what? We're going to fake to George this time. They buy it, and Chris Sanders. Boom! He beats Darrell Walker, 62 yards, touchdown, 7-0 Boilers.
Yeah, it begins with a great fake by Chandler to George. That's set up by the running of Eddie George. We take a look at it right here. Sanders comes open down the field. Pretty solid position by Walker, and then poor tackling at the end of the play.
Well, Rod Russ defense, not what he wants. Now, Chris Chandler gets hurt here, but this is the kind of season it's been for the Atlanta Falcons. Watch who he hits on the sideline. Boom! That's June Jones, Tom!
Yeah, we take another look at it, and June lucky to not be hurt right here because you see him fall right there on his head and headset, but he got up and he was okay.
Well, questionable next week. Not June. He was all right, but Chandler, a strained groin, questionable next week. Into the game, Steve Air McNair. Nice catch by Chris Sanders, 15 yards. He had 4 for 100 today. 3rd and 5, the ball at the 11, and McNair can move now. As the Falcons found out, he smells the opening and look at him at the 3. Whee! Into the end zone, touchdown. The Oilers up 17-0. McNair passing 4 for 5 on the drive, and he ran for the touchdown. Eddie George. Boy, is he impressed this year, Tom, or what?
Yeah, it's a combination of power and speed, and watch the quickness at the end of this run as he begins to start faking people out, but he's still getting upfield, makes an extra 10 yards on the end of that run.
Another loss for June Jones and the Atlanta Falcons. Eddie George, well, the bags are out in Atlanta. That's not a good sign as the Falcons remain winless and fall on the year to 0-6. Eddie George's 3rd 100-yard day. Rookie year. Welcome to the National Football League. The Oilers, 4-2. This is their 3rd straight road game, and they win 2 out of 3 on the road trip. Now they go home. I don't know what that means. They play pretty well on the road, and they beat the Falcons 23-13. By the way, a contingent of fans drove down from Tennessee to Atlanta to watch what they hope will be their new ball club. At any rate, when we return, Jets and Jags, you throw everything out the window when those two get together. Rams, Panthers, Kevin Green doing what comes naturally.
You love Jock Jams Volume 1. Now, ESPN and Tommy Boy Music give you Jock Jams, Volume 2. Jock Jams, Volume 2. More of the hottest crowd-pumping jams of all time. Jock Jams, Volume 2. Available in record stores everywhere.
This is how we do it.
The Wall Street Journal keeps you on the cutting edge with news and insights that can affect you personally and professionally. Subscribe now and have the Journal delivered to your home or office. And with your paid subscription, you'll also receive our free personal finance software to help you make smart decisions. Get 10 weeks of the Journal and the software for only $3.80 a week. Call now, 800-443-7400. That's 800-443-7400 for the Wall Street Journal.
Now Lamar, 2 base hits today in 5 at-bats with a run batted in. That one is hit deep into center field. Lofton is going back, still going back, all the way back. Home run! So Alomar, in his next at-bat against Mesa, after tying the game in the 9th inning with a single, he has homered in the 12th inning. 4-3 Baltimore.
Welcome back to NFL Prime Time. Well, the Jags are an enigma, Billy, because they beat Pittsburgh. It's 2 out of 3 times. But the Saints get their first win of the year against the Jags. The Raiders get their first win of the year against the Jags. So here come the Jets saying, please, pretty please, we need a win.
But these, after all, are the Jets.
Oh, well, I know.
Jets didn't win a game with their first-string offense, and now much of that offense is hurt. Starting quarterback Neil O'Donnell is out. Wide receivers Keyshawn Johnson, Webster Slaughter, and Jeff Graham are out. In his 22-game history, Jacksonville 6-16. Over the same period of time, the Jets have gone 3-19. So, which team is the expansion team? Rich Kotite, 3-19 overall as a Jets coach. First play, second quarter, 7-3 Jets. Frank Reich, Wayne Corbett, touchdown. Reich's second TD pass of the day. Jets up 14-3. Still in the second, 14-6 New York. Mark Brunell drops back. Going deep, he's got Jimmy Smith, who beat Ray Mickens 61 yards on that play. Same drive from the Jets 15. Brunell, Jimmy Smith, 15 yards and a touchdown. Jags add the 2-point conversion, tie the game at 14. Third quarter, it's still 14-all. Brunell goes up top again. This time it's Willie Jackson. And Willie Jackson has got all kinds of room, splits the defense, 41 yards and a touchdown, 21-14 Jags. Brunell leading the NFL in passing yards coming in. Fourth quarter, Nick Lowry, 20 yards out, trying to break Jan Stenerud's record of 373 field goals. It is up, and it is good. Lowry's father, Sidney, says, that's my son. Number 374 for Lowry, number 1 all time. Jets down 4. Then it's Lowry again from 37 yards out, but this one, wide left. Jets still down 21-17. 1:27 to go. Reich, known for his comebacks, focused in the shotgun. Corbett, 12 catches, 162 yards in the game, his best day by far as a pro. Tommy, he made a nifty catch and run on this play.
Yeah, Corbett very alert. Once he makes this catch, he falls in between 2 defenders, realizes he hasn't been touched, and tacks on another 19 yards to this pass play.
So a 1st and 10 from the 31. Reich, end zone, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Reich looking for Alex Van Dyke. Incomplete. Remember, the Jets are down 4. 3rd down, Reich looking for Richie Anderson. Way overthrown. Tom Coughlin says, we need some defense. 4th and 10, last chance. Reich looking for Van Dyke. Oh, my goodness, not even close. And the Jags go on to win. The final score was 21-17. All 4 of the Jags' losses have come in the final 3 minutes, but they held on in this one. Just the Jags' 2nd win in 13 games against teams not from the AFC Central. Jets now 0-7. They've lost 11 in a row. And Chris, if you count Kotite's last 7 games as head coach of the Eagles, he is now 3-27 in his last 30 games as a head coach.
Not good.
It's not funny.
No, it's not funny. Good guy. Bad luck thus far. Well, last year, Billy, where are we going here? We're going to the Rams and the Panthers. Last year, the Carolina Panthers lost as an expansion team, lost to the Rams of St. Louis both times. Why? Because they turned the ball over a combination of 13 times. But that was last year. This year, the Rams, they're young, they're restless, and they got a way to go. Carolina is a team that has a chance to be somebody. They can be a contender. And here we go after 2 losses on the road. Yeah, the Panther fans know defense. Dominating. Dom. Well, Tony Banks is hit by Sean King at the bubble, and Kevin Green picks it up. He could go all the way and hit that end zone hard. Boom! Touchdown, 14-0, the Panthers. I have a question for you, Tom. Have you seen Muhammad? No, I said Muhsin Muhammad. There he is. Muhammad goes to the mountain. Touchdown from Kerry Collins. Look at him separate there. 54 yards, 21-0 Carolina in my mind. Still second quarter. Collins to Mark Carey. Ball deflected. And Anthony Parker used to do this as a Viking, now does it as a Ram touchdown. Parker's 6th defensive touchdown in the last 3+ seasons. And the Rams have pulled a 21-7. What happened? So when kickoff, the Rams are in the game. Michael Bates, who blocked the punt last week in Minnesota, returns it, and the Rams swarm, and it's only 14 yards. What happens here, Tom?
Pretty good kickoff coverage right there, but a small mistake, or a seemingly small mistake at the beginning of the kick. Bottom of your screen, Greg Robinson, about 1.5 feet offsides right there, causes the Rams to have to re-kick the football.
Well, the Panthers get another chance. Did you think Michael Bates makes the most of it? He was like the Bates Motel for the Rams. Don't shower alone. He's gone. Lohmiller, the last with a shot, gone. And offside turns into 7 points. 93 yards, 28-7, Carolina. Rams ensuing drive. Tony Banks, want to watch a pretty catch? Jermaine Ross. What a catch. One-handed. Set up a touchdown. They trail 28-13 at the half. Banks nailed by Chad Kodachrome. Picked off by the field mouse, Sam Mills. Banks, a bruised elbow, gone. On the ensuing possession, Anthony Johnson lugging the big
and this is Anthony Johnson's second 100-yard game in a row, and you watch him pound the ball up the middle of the field. It seems that this team gets whatever's necessary from whoever's on the field for him.
3 plays later, Collins to Wesley Walls. What a season he's had. Wide open, 19 yards. His second TD of the game, 38-13. Fourth quarter, the Panthers say, why not? We'll go for it. Kerry Collins makes a move and picks up the first down, keeping the drive alive. 4th and 1. Dino Filiaw. Can't be Charles Filiaw. Otherwise, he'd be like 6'10" with stuff wrapped all around his arms. Blake Brockermeyer and the Panthers, I know they've only been in business a year and a half. 45 points, a team record. 45-13. They slice and dice the Rams. They have to mark the 4-2 Rich Brooks. His team has lost 5 straight. And Anthony Johnson in the game ran for 126 yards. And Tommy, at this point, I mean, we have to be able to say, our Panthers.
Panthers.
Because now they're getting the running despite the injury to Biaka Matuka.
Well, I think it's a tribute, again, to the staff and the people who put it together. They get whatever they need on a given Sunday from whoever's playing football for them. Also, I want to clarify, this morning I said that the 49ers would not necessarily be in a race for their division. I was not including the Carolina Panthers, mostly the Saints, the Rams, and the Falcons, who have a combined 3 wins. When you look at the Carolina Panthers, they already have 4 wins in the division, and should the 49ers stumble tomorrow night, they'll be in first place.
Because they beat them head-to-head. And one thing is, you watch Carolina improve every week. This time, big plays. That really hasn't been a part of their arsenal. Right. It's been defense and special teams, etc. Big plays. So we go inside the numbers. Well, the Rams started off so well under Rich Brooks. Now the problem is they just turn the ball over. This is Kevin Green's play, but that's been kind of a habit for the last year and a half. Green's touchdown just accented what's been going on. As we go inside the numbers, boy, I tell you what, that's a long lead up to it. If I was a disc jockey, that's like a 52. It's like talking up MacArthur Park trying to get to the numbers here. First 4 games, they were 4-0 with no turnovers. But the last 18 games, 4-14 with 59 turnovers. 9 of them returned for touchdowns.
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be.
Someone left the cake out in the rain, Tom. When we return, Redskins, Patriots, Ken Harvey. Could he make Drew Bledsoe's days miserable? I don't think that I can take it. It took so long to bake it. Well, the Steelers were baking, weren't they?
Chances are it will outlast your car and your furnace and your roof. There's no telling what your Moen faucet might outlast. Moen. Buy it for looks. Buy it for life.
Are you still stalking the bull and fearing the bear? Or have you evolved into a more civilized investor? Ask your financial advisor about Kemper funds to start building tomorrows today.
Every year, the McGinty's go trick-or-treating as Coach Paul Brown. In 1968, Chris wants to go as a pirate. Dad says okay, but it has to be a Paul Brown pirate.
The movie that blew you away, Twister, is now for sale on video.
Run!
Hold on to your truck. Hold on to your house. Hold on to your TV. Twister, now for sale on video.
We got to be real careful as journalists. We can't step over the line between covering a story and possibly becoming part of the story. Like the Jim Harbaugh story. We might have gone over the line there.
Jim Harbaugh's surgery is well underway and appears to be going quite smoothly. Let's get an update. Keith, how's he faring?
Very satisfactory, Dan. What section, please? Aren't I supposed to be asleep? Dan, you're in my light. I can't see what I'm doing. Yeah, well, that'll happen.
It just boils down to ethics. People trust us to know where that line is, and that's what journalism is all about.
Oh, those flying helmets. Last year, Cincinnati scored 58 points in their 2 games against Pittsburgh, splitting against the soon-to-be AFC champs. That was last year. This year, the Steelers have that AFC champion look again. While the Bengals' offense, which was so good last year, this year has been offensive. Here we go. And, of course, you go up against the Steelers' defense, you rile them up, as we'll talk about in a moment. And you also don't need to rile up Jerome Bettis. He runs one way, Tom, head straight ahead. Very early on, it was clear what the Steelers tried to do.
Yeah, I think the thing that the Steelers have done, besides giving him an offensive line that he can be productive with, is you notice that, as you said, it's always north-south. It's moving up the football field. Very little movement laterally.
7 carries on the first drive, 35 yards, 3-0 Steelers. Jeff Blake, well, this is what he saw. Chad Brown in his face all day. Second quarter, this is what he saw. Garrison Hurst, and forget it. 5 men swarm on Hurst. Then the blitz. Look at to the top of the picture, Chad Brown. Oh, Jeff Blake never had a chance. 2 sacks for Brown. And then, Tommy, what happens here?
Well, you saw right there Kajana Carter's effort at throwing a block on Levon Kirkland, but not a very good effort.
And he shall be a Levon. Chad Brown says fullback Jeff Cochran, get out of here. Another sack. Dave Schuler, 3rd and 3 now. Now Mike Tomczak lobs this to Charles Johnson. Kind of took a year off, but he's making circus catches. Then, from the 33-yard line, Tomczak to Cordell Stewart. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get the chin strap right there. Let me get the helmet right there. Shoulder pads, knee pads. Oh, yeah, the end zone. Touchdown. And he's still adjusting equipment. I've never seen anybody adjust so much and score untouched.
Yeah, outstanding job, too, by the offensive line as we take the overhead look. And look at the guys get out here, including Dermontti Johnson, Dawson, and they put hats on people so that Stewart's got an easy walk to the end zone.
Yeah, Dave knows that the Cordell Stewart had the explosion, and Jason Gilden exploded on Jeff Blake. Then Chad Brown, the spin move on Melvin Rootin Tootin. He takes Blake down. Blake coughs it up. Unfortunately for the Bengals, they're to fall on it. 8 sacks. Then, forget the sacks. You know what? We can play defense. Chad Brown is there to make an interception. 4.5 sacks, an INT, more numbers coming. 13-3 Steelers. This is a big play in the game. The Bengals in the 4th quarter still have a chance. On 4th and 1 from midfield, they might as well go for it. Well, who goes for it? Look, watch this. Now, they're moving up. Now, if I can see it, why can't Jeff Blake see it? They're coming up the middle, and he's down, and he fumbles, and Rod Woodson picks it up, and it's gone. It's as simple as that. The 10th sack results in a touchdown, 20-10. The Steelers win it. 10 sacks. We're at 66 yards. Here's Chad Brown's numbers. 4.5 sacks, 4 tackles, 5 assists, 1 fumble recovery, 2 passes defense, 1 INT, a partridge in a pear tree. Oh, by the way, Jerome Bettis, Tom, 109 yards, 5 straight 100-yard days for him with the Steelers, and he's only played, 6 games. The record for the Steelers, and they had some pretty good running backs, you know. Franco Harris did it 6 in a row in 1972, so already a question that the Jerome Bettis and the Steelers Boy, that loss to Jacksonville seems like years ago.
Yeah, and I think this is fairly simple. You're talking about a totally dominant Pittsburgh team that has the ability to do everything both offensively and defensively, and maybe the most impressive thing about them is that they're emotionally up for every game. Now the Bengals help them do that today, and I think that's the lesson to be learned. Cincinnati has to learn that when you're going to go play a team, allow yourself to sneak up on them. You've got one win. You had the ability to sneak up on the Steelers. You didn't let that happen. You forced them to come out and play football.
You're talking about Jeff Blake.
Yes.
You said maybe they're scared of the way we score?
Well, and certainly as you looked at them today when they got pumped, I think the team that may have looked a little bit scared was the Bengals by the time that game was over.
They didn't look that scary. Yeah. Well, the Steelers look scary, obviously. The 10 sacks ties a team record, and we're talking about a team with the steel curtain. 10 today against the Bengals. They had 10 and 92 against the Bengals. They had 9 and 83 against the Bengals. 1 is an accident, 2 is a trend, 3 is a problem. When we return, Bears Saints. Something had to give in this classic. Dave Craig throwing to his offensive lineman. Maybe that'll work. Redskins Patriots. Intriguing game in Foxborough.
Is this where they're shooting the logo athletic commercial?
Bruce Smith, what's he doing here? It's supposed to be a quarterback commercial. I don't know, but maybe someone should tell that to Bruce.
I'm not telling him.
Troy, you tell him.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Get real.
Logo Athletic, authentic team apparel.
When I first started smoking pot, you know, I thought it was just like a little thing, like I was having fun and having a good time. I never thought in a million years that I would end up, you know, like not going to school, you know, at all. Not having a relationship with my mother, making my friends that I smoked pot with more important than my mother. Like, I treated them like family and I treated her like garbage. I think pot is very dangerous.
Last year, Northwestern shut out Wisconsin on their way to the Big Ten title. But Barry and the Badgers are looking to slow down Heisman hopeful Darnell Autry and send Cinderella back to Chicago with a loss. Northwestern, Wisconsin, Saturday at 12:30, only on ESPN.
Welcome back. We have the Bears and the Saints. Brian Cox playing some good defense early. The Saints, the worst rushing team in the entire league. Cox here hits Mario Bates at the line of scrimmage. Second quarter, Saints down 10-0. Jim Everett, lead to Ramis, 28 yards and a touchdown. Saints down 10-7. Now, Tommy, what do you have?
Well, you're going to see a response here with a little Bears trickery right there. Spot shadowed Marcus Spears, a tackle. He's eligible receiver right there. Dave Craig hits him for a touchdown. That's a tackle's dream.
Saints down 17-7 at the half. Second half, Ray Zellers back from a team-ordered one-game suspension after a verbal fracas with Coach Jim Mora. Zellers was fired up in this one. Look at this run. Total it up. 63 yards for Ray Zellers. And after it's finally over, Mora says, you know, Ray, you are still my man. Here comes Jim Mora. No hard feelings. Tommy, how about the run?
Yeah, he might be allowed a verbal fracas every now and then after this run. Usually at an amusement park, you have to pay a little extra for a ride like that.
Next Bears possession, Craig, who passed for 247 yards. He's got Curtis Conway. We got a touchdown, 53 yards, and you know what we also have? We got some flavor. Curtis Conway with some flavor. Bears up 24-17. Start of the fourth quarter. Saints go back to Zellers. 17 more yards on this play. Same drive. Zellers again, 3 yards out, a touchdown, so we're now tied at 24. The Bears D has allowed 16 scores in 16 opportunities in the red zone this season. Just over 6 minutes to go, 3rd and 1. Craig to Ryan Wetnight, 42 yards on this play, all the way down the 18-yard line. Sets up a Jeff Jager attempt, 32-yard field goal. We're tied at 24. Is it good? No, it's not good. Jager thought it was good. Yes, it's good, he thought, but no, it wasn't. So we're still tied at 24. Next Saints possession. Zellers again. 21 yards in the game. 20 carries, 174 yards. Doug Bryan getting focused for what would be a long field goal, perhaps. Saints 3rd down, trying to bring it closer. Haywood Jeffries for 10 yards. Sets it up. 150 to go. We're tied at 24. Doug Bryan. 54 yards out for the win, and it is good. The longest field goal of Bryant's career, 54 yards, and the Saints win it 27-24. They've now won 2 in a row after starting the season 0-5. The 174 yards for Zellers, the third best rushing performance in team history. Zellers had only 162 yards all last year. After last week's loss to Green Bay, Brian Cox said the Bears needed to find the Wizards for a new heart. This week, a calmer Cox said the Bears got gushed. Chicago's lost 5 of 6, so they got gushed.
They get gushed by fuzzy Zellers. That's what happened in the game. So the Saints, they get 0-5 and they're dangerous. Just like last year when they finished, what, 7-9 after an 0-5 start. Well, one of the most intriguing games of the day, Billy, was Washington against New England, really because they hardly play at all, and both came in on win streaks. The Redskins had won 4 in a row. The Patriots at home in Foxborough had won 3 in a row. Bill Parcells, 17 times, had coached against the Redskins as head coach of the G-Men. But this was the first time he'd coached against the Redskins as head coach of the P-Men. And here we go. From Foxborough, Bill Parcells against the Redskins. Second quarter, 6-3 Patriots. Gus Frerotte, Terry Allen. No, it's Leslie Shepard on the double reverse. And look at him go. Leslie Allen Shepard to the moon, Alice. 32 yards, 10-6, Redskins.
Yeah, and Norv Turner in this offense asked everybody to contribute. Here, his quarterback, Gus Frerotte, blocking on Mike Jones, does a great job of getting in front of him. And then look at Shepard lose with the cutback. 7 Patriots right there and get it headed for the end zone.
Next Patriot possession, Curtis, my favorite, Martin. 3 yards, touchdown. The Patriots up 13-10. Second quarter, Patriots driving. Drew Bledsoe to Sean Jefferson. Moving on up. Woo! It's a true post pattern. Problem is, the post gets in the way. Settle for a field goal, 16-10, Patriots at the half. Tom, Mark Logan, little trickery here for the fullback of the Skins.
Great job of faking the block right there, slipping out into the flat, and then getting him upfield, making a nice cutback, about 25 yards.
The former 49er does it then. Frerotte to Jamie Asher from Louisville. Jamie Ashes to Asher. Touchdown, 17-16 Skins. Drew Bledsoe picked off by the ageless one. Darrell Green, his second of the season, 42nd lifetime. He's second among active players. That leads to Gus Frerotte. Boy, he and Henry Ellard had a great day. Zing! Ellard, 1 yard into the end zone, touchdown, 24-16 Skins. But then, Curtis Martin. A little burst, a little juke, a little jive, and he's gone. Except for one thing. Darrell Green is still fast. Look at him track him down, and what a big play Green made. Martin, by the way, 164 yards, a pair of touchdowns. But because of Green's play, the Skins defense holds, and then Adam Vinatieri misses a field goal, doinks it. Parcells, oh, me and kickers, you know the way it is. 24-16 Skins in the fourth. Bledsoe to Terry Glenn. Boy, has he come on, down to the 2. Then, here's the second touchdown for Martin. Watch Sam Gash, boom, with the lead block. Touchdown, 24-22 Skins. Got to go for 2. 5.5 to go. Martin, well, boy, this pitch is way back, and the Skins have it snuffed out. Then the Skins had a long drive featuring Frerotte and Ellard, who were marvelous late. They tack on a field goal, 27-22 the Redskins, and Tommy, they're the quietest 5-1 team in football.
Yeah, and Bill Parcells knew that the Redskins would do it by playing fairly mistake-proof football. That's exactly what they did today.
He also said that they would do a trick play.
Yes.
And you saw the touchdown reverse by Shepard. So the Skins are 5-1. When we return, Dolphins and Bills. It's always this way. Always nipped and tucked. Usually Thermal has a huge day. Michael back in the saddle for the Cowboys.
Call it strength.
One of the world's largest insurance and investment groups.
Call it trust.
$300 billion in assets under management.
Call it global.
56,000 people working hands-on in 23 countries.
Call it vision.
Give clients an even better chance in a changing world.
Call it AXA. Here you know us as the Equitable. AXA. Go ahead. You can rely on us.
Don't just send flowers, send Maui flowers from 1-800-SEND-MAUI. Now you can delight anyone with a spectacular gift box of exotic tropical flowers, express delivered from the island paradise of Maui. These stunning, long-lasting flowers will be shipped garden fresh within hours of their cutting at a surprisingly affordable price. So for loved ones, birthdays, or a corporate gift, don't just send flowers, send Maui flowers. Call toll-free 1-800-SEND-MAUI.
Pool the Master's Way and learn from the best. Two of America's favorite instructional videos are now available only through this special TV offer. Get tips from Steve Miserak, Pretty Boy Floyd, Iwo Mataya, and other pool greats. Now, for a limited time, you can order both videos for the price of one. Learn the secrets of breaks, banks, defense, position, angles, and trick shots like the Massey and the jump.
Take it from me, The Miz. When you purchase Pool the Master's Way and learn from the best, you'll learn everything you need to know how to shoot pool like a pro. With these two tapes, you can do almost anything. Except beat me.
World champion Steve Miserak takes you through the best ways to improve your game. Call the number on your screen and we'll send you this wonderful 2-video cassette collection for just $19.95 plus postage and handling.
2 for the price of 1? How can you go wrong?
These videos have never been offered together and are only being offered for a limited time. Call now. Have your credit card ready. An operator is waiting for your call. Sorry, no CODs. Call now.
The Dallas Cowboys were 2-3 BI before Urban. Well, 2-3 still leaves the door open for postseason consideration and even a chance for the Cowboys to make a move if Michael jumpstarts the offense. Today was his first chance with jumper cables at home against the Cards, who the Cowboys had beaten 11 straight. Michael backed the Cards. Said, oh boy, just when we thought things were going good, they get all this emotion. But the Cards get the opening kickoff and drive deep. So Aeneas Williams, to play defense against Michael Urban, knows the first pass is coming there, and he's right there with the good coverage. Tom, he's one of the best in football, that's for sure. On the Cowboys' next possession after a punt, Aikman to Urban, and he's in the books. He has caught a pass this year. And Tommy, how did he look today? Let's take a look at some of the moves.
He looked pretty good, Chris. The fluidity, watch him run the pattern, do a great job of coming out of his break and then coming back to the football. Nice concentration, gets the feet down. And then you look at the other end of this play, Eric Swan right there being hit by Ray Donaldson, Larry Allen, even Darrell Johnson contributing, giving Aikman time.
No score in the second quarter. Aikman, Urban in front of Williams. Boy, good coverage as well. But that drive stalls. So Ernie Zampese says, okay, we got Michael back. Tell you what, let's get some other guys going. There's Ernie on the left of your screen. Aikman to Kelvin Martin. Zip, 25 yards in the seam. 2 plays later, inside the 40. Aikman. All right, we'll go back to Michael here. Zip, right flat, 12-yard pickup. 2 plays later, 35 seconds left in the half, to Dion. Down to the 6-yard, get down to the 6-yard line. Sets up a Bonio field goal, and the Cowboys lead at 3-0 at the half. Then Aikman to Urban, but this time Aeneas Williams is there.
Yeah, and this is not so much miscommunication between Urban and Aikman as it is a great play by Aeneas Williams. Look at him get in front of Urban, make him break the route, and then great concentration, looking over his shoulder and pulling the ball in for the INT.
All right, well, we've seen everybody but who? Emmitt Smith. Here's Emmitt right up the middle, 16 yards. On the Cardinal 19, we don't have Novacek, may not have him all year, but Eric Bjornsson, we kind of like him at tight end, down to the 10-yard line. 3rd and goal from the 1. Emmitt Smith with the usual convoy. Newton and company. Moose with a block. 10-0 Cowboys. 100th career rushing touchdown for Emmitt Smith. He's only the 5th to do that. More in a moment. Meanwhile, Dallas defense, top-ranked in football, going in. Fred Strickland nails LaShawn Johnson. The Sandman, Mr. Sandman, Mr. Sandman. Broderick Thomas chases Kent Graham from behind. Then watch this. Ed Kukart is the umpire. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Larry Centers was open, but Kukart really hurt. He was tough. He stayed in the game, but no, he was not the headlinesman. He was the umpire. Hit him right in the head. Fortunately, he's all right. Kukart settled for a field goal on that drive. So the score 10-3, Emmitt Smith. 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Not scintillating by any means, but the Cowboys now 1 for 1 with Michael Urban in the lineup. But Michael Urban caught 5 on the day. 51 yards. Emmitt Smith had a 100-yard day. The Cowboys win at 17-3. But, Tommy, let's assess. Well, first of all, after the game, Michael Urban talked about it.
It was a great feeling going to battle with my family. And they are my family. It was hard. Everybody, it was hard. And, you know, it was hard. It was hard dealing. It was hard sitting around watching my family fight without me.
So much more confidence, man, to have your main man on offense. This team has won without Emmitt. This team has won without Troy. This team haven't proved that they can win without the playmaker. And that's a quote.
That is a quote. How do you think Michael looked?
Well, I think he looked awfully good, and I think more importantly, the team responded to him being back on the football field. Sometimes the best thing that a player can bring to his team is emotion and enthusiasm. That lies within Michael Irvin and his ability to get this team up and ready to play. And today, when you saw the 100 yards from Emmitt Smith and you saw the tackling from that defense and the way they got after the quarterback and got after the running game, I think those are the things that we're going to see them improve on during this season after Michael's gotten back on the field.
2 of the next 3 games are at home before they play San Francisco and Green Bay. So maybe a chance for the Cowboys to get moving there at 3-3 as we go inside the numbers. We told you Emmitt's the 5th guy to get 100 rushing touchdowns. You might have heard of the other 4. Walter Payton, Marcus Allen, Jim Brown, John Riggins. Pretty good club than Emmitt's in. He also is now 7th all-time for touchdowns with 106, passing the legendary Don Hudson. When we return, Irving Fryer and the Eagles, could they make great catches all day? Raiders at home, could they get a 2-game winning streak going against the Lions? Jim Kelly return. Was it a good return for the Bills?
Well, if my check is $100, I get back 20. If my check is $300, I get back 60. If it's $600, I get back $120.
Introducing a special invitation from Dining a la Carte. A 2-month trial membership for free.
Dining a la carte is earning extra money.
Just for eating out. Dining a la Carte works with your credit cards. There are no embarrassing coupons and no restaurant blackout periods.
I love the amount of money that I've saved with Dining a la Carte. I've saved well over $1,000.
Just dine at participating restaurants. In about 30 days, you'll receive a rebate check that equals 20% of your total restaurant charges, including tax and tips.
Dining a la carte is a good thing for people who like to go out for dinners and like to save money.
And here's your special invitation. Call right now and get a 2-month trial membership for free.
Soon you'll be able to know immediately if statements like these are true. Mr. Gullible. ESPN News Network, the 24-hour sports news network from ESPN. Who else?
First of all, congratulations to Joe Torre and the Yankees. They're moving on to the World Series, having beaten the Orioles. And Billy, looking at the Giants-Eagles game, we thought the Yanks-Orioles would A, be higher scoring, and B, certainly have a hell of a lot more long ball. And that was true for a while, wasn't it?
Turned out to be a great game and a new quarterback for the Eagles. Ty Detmer comes from a football family. Ty's high school coach was his father, Sonny, and Ty's brother, Coy, is the starting quarterback at the University of Colorado. The 1990 Heisman Trophy winner, Detmer has thrown just 35 passes in 4 previous NFL seasons. This is his first pro start, and with Rodney Peete out for the rest of the year, Detmer has his first real opportunity in the National Football League. And there's Detmer. Early second quarter, 3-0 Giants. Detmer will go back to pass. Irving Fryer. Tremendous grab, so good, Tommy, it deserves some analysis.
Well, you take a second look at it here, Billy, and you just see him go up and show some great concentration right in the middle of defenders. Catches actually the back part of the football and pulls it in.
3 plays later, 9th play of the drive. Detmer the lob to Chris T. Fury Jones. Overthrown, though. Eagles settle for a field goal. We're tied at 3. Mid-second quarter, Eagles punting. Amani Toomer is ready to return. Toomer from his own 35. Toomer gets outside, and we have a developing situation because Toomer is going to go 65 yards for a touchdown. And as we watch it again, the Giants got a big break.
Yeah, you don't always get the calls, but number 91 here, Coleman Rudolph, is going to clip Jason Dunn. Just watch right there. It's not called. Touchdown stands.
So with that touchdown, Giants up 10-3, third quarter now. The reverse to Charlie Garner. Garner is going to go 40 yards to the left. But a flag will fly on the play. And the flag is holding on the Eagles. Bring it back. 3 plays later, Eagles 3rd and 1. Kevin Turner stuffed by Corey Widmer. Eagles forced to punt. The Bud Light, I love you, man. He loves it. Late fourth quarter, Eagles trail 10-9. Ricky Waters, 9 yards to the right. 3 plays later, it's Detmer. It's a wobbler, but Mark Say says, say hey. 9 yards. 3 plays later, Detmer again. 11 yards on this one to Fryer. Next play as the Eagles are moving. Waters, 27 carries, 110 yards, 13 here. Gary Anderson would kick his 4th field goal of the day, 12-10 at this point, Eagles, as Philadelphia is up by 2. Giants get the ball, 1st and 10, own 27. Dicey. Kevin Brown hit by Mike Mamula, and he loses the football. William Thomas has got the football, and William Thomas is going to go all the way for a touchdown. Even the ref gets a high five. Dave Brown says, oh my goodness. And the Eagles win it 19-10. Eagles 8 sacks. Detmer 18 of 33, 170 yards. In the Eagles' last 10 visits to the Meadowlands, their defense and specialty teams have combined to score 9 touchdowns. Now, Chris, what do you have?
We have a trip out west to the home of the Raiders. Lions, Raiders, and Jeff Hostetler was on his Hoss very early. Well, he gives it to Joe Aska, and you get a fumbler. It's a scramble, but somehow Hostetler is at the bottom of the pile. You knew it was the Raiders' day early on. Now it's 3rd and 11. Hoss flushed out of the pocket. And he moves the nimble one. 17 yards for the first down. And Tommy 1st and 10 at the 26. Raiders run a reverse to Timmy Brown. Look at Hostetler take out Kowalski.
Yeah, and Hostetler's toughness defined what the Raiders did offensively today.
I guess that was Kowalski. I was thinking of Killer Kowalski. And Haas, under pressure, ducks 2 tackles. Sprints. James Jett. Touchdown. What a pretty play. 7-0. The Raiders. Now it's 13-0 Raiders. 35 seconds to go in the half. Haas. Looking for Napoleon Kaufman. Takes the hands out of the vest. Makes the catch at the 10. Touchdown. 20-0 Raiders at the half. What has happened to the Detroit Lions since halftime against the Falcons? Here's what's happened to Jeff Hostetler. First drive in the 3rd quarter. Haas. Play fake. James Jett. Think he's faster than these guys, Tom? 58 yards. Next possession. 3rd and 2. Haas. You think there's some breakdown in the coverage here? Ricky Dudley.
Yeah, and Dudley is a guy who can really run. You watch him hit the seam of the defense, and nobody's going to catch him.
34-0 Raiders with 9:40 to go in the 3rd. Haas down but not out. So Scott Mitchell says, you know what? We got to do something here. He throws to Herman's Moore, 25 yards. Mitchell. Brett Perriman, one-handed grab, 20 yards. Next play. Mitchell, slant, Moore, drive, $150 to 34-7. Who cares? The right wing. Raiders go 3 and out. 1st and goal. Herman Moore steals the touchdown from Terry McDaniel. Drive took a minute 29. 34-14. Who cares though, right? Raiders 3 and out. Lions, 1st and 10 from the 20. Johnny Morton salts it away for a touchdown. Drive, 2:25. He cares. Mike White says it's already 34-21. Mitchell for Brett Perriman, but it's picked off by Larry Brown. First interception is a Raider. Raiders, come on. Hold on to win at 37-21. Boy, after the Lions led Atlanta 28-0, it must have been Newt Gingrich at halftime last week because the Lions then proceeded to give up, what, 24 plus whatever was like 58 points. Then Newt Rockney at halftime, but not enough. And the Raiders have won 2 in a row. Haas, 27 of 38 for 295 for 4 touchdowns. Jet, 7 for $112. And 2 touchdowns. Barry Sanders only carried it 9 times. 36 yards. When you get way ahead of the Lions, you negate Barry Sanders. Miami at Buffalo. The game of the AFC. It's been that way for just about a decade. As a matter of fact, the 16th time these 2 teams have met in the 90s alone. Marv Levy has had great success against Miami. 17-5 as head coach of the Buffalo Bills. But this time it was Jimmy Johnson that was coaching the Miami Dolphins. Certainly a coaching change wouldn't make a difference in the Buffalo Stampede at home over the Dolphins, now would it? Jim Kelly missed the last 2 games. Bad hamstring, warming up. Dan Marino, another member of the class of '83, still has to sit. Watched his friend Kelly struggle. Picked off early by the rookie Zach Thomas. Then Jimbo looks for Andre Reed. In the wind, did not look good. More Jimbo. Swing pass to Thurman. Thomas, a little bit too far. And Tommy, then he's pressured by Trace Armstrong.
And Jimbo always been a guy willing to hold on to the football, to wait for the routes to come open. They're stripped by Tim Bowens. Trace Armstrong makes the recovery.
Wow. First quarter, 1 for 4 for 4 yards. And then here comes the pass rush, which Todd Collins didn't have to face. Tim Bowens had a pair of sacks. Trace Armstrong, 2.5. Here's one of them. Here's 2 of them. Goes around Parker. And then here's a half of them. So they were coming. 7 sacks in all, in addition to all the other trouble that Jim Kelly was having. Third quarter, 7-0 Miami. Randall Hill says, call my number. So Craig Erickson, first start as a Dolphin. Here you go, Randall. Former college teammate. It works. Jeff Burris is beaten 61 yards down the sideline. That sets up the chagrin of Marv Irving. Irving spikes 1 yard, touchdown, 14-0 Miami in front of a packed house at Orchard Park. Kelly and the Bills look to come back. Now he runs the no huddle, and it took a while to get going, but he hits Quinn early. Gain of 27 yards. Same drive, Thermal Thomas. Boy, he has killed the Dolphins through the years. 19 yards. You think they're not pumped up? The youngster, Reuben Brown, into the stands himself. 14-7, the Bills have cut it to 7. Fourth quarter, same score. Jimmy's hair, even a little bit messed. Kelly to Reed, slant, 16 yards. Kelly looking for Reed, but picked off by Calvin Jackson as Kelly tried to force the ball.
Yeah, exactly. You look at the contingent of Dolphins around the football right there. Almost inevitable that one of them was going to get a pick.
Now with the score, same 14-7 in the fourth. Craig Erickson. Bruce Smith says, wait a minute, we can do something about this. What does he do here? Tries to fire up the entire team. The Bills get the ball back. Just over 2 minutes to go. Down by a touch. Kelly, that old magic. It's Andre Reed. Beats the defender, makes the move, and he's gone, except for the speed of Terrell Buckley. Remember that play as they go to the 1. So first and goal at the 1. Certainly, here comes the tying touchdown. But Kelly, in the pocket, throws it to no one. They actually called this intentional grounding.
Yeah, and granted, there was no receiver there, but it's a play that's almost never called.
So second down now from the 11. Lost it down in yards. That is not intentional grounding, but it's incomplete. Third and goal from the 11. Tripsters Kelly. Barely gets it to Thurman. Now fourth and goal from about the 9. Watch what happens. Kelly. Picked off by Terrell Buckley. He's not going to get him. Parker says, let me nail somebody, but he's not going to get Buckley. Go all the way. 91 yards. Touchdown, Miami. They're up 21-7. Horrible day for Kelly. Migraine headache for Marv. Good hair day for Jimmy. Terrell Buckley, a guy we took a chance with, made the big play on Reed at the 1, made the bigger play for the touchdown. 21-7 Dolphins over the Bills. For Jim Kelly, one of his worst days ever at the office.
No matter what happens, it's set up for me to do something wrong. Throw it past Andre, feeling that we're down to the 2-yard line, and what more can happen? I mean, intentional grounding on me throwing an interception. The range of pours, and it was coming down in buckets on me. I let our team down today. I didn't do what, hold up to my part of the bargain. I was supposed to get these guys in the end zone. I didn't do it, period.
Did the booing upset you today?
We deserve to be booed. I deserve to be booed. I set a sense of urgency on myself to either get it done or get out there and let Todd take over. I think I'm man enough to realize that if you can't get it done, I don't care what position you're playing, whether it's quarterback, running back, receiver, line, defense, special teams. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing out there, maybe move on to something else.
Never seen or heard Jim so down. They play the Jets next week. If anyone can pick it up, it's Jim Kelly. But maybe Marv has some decisions to make, although never bank against Kelly. Game ball's next.
Silver bullet, the ship cold to tap the clean taste of the Rockies.
Good boy.
The new Coors Light Wide Mouth can is here with a giant opening for a smoother pour.
It's the story of Kyle Brady and He found the perfect way to make a call. He told Eric Metcalf, who phoned Wish Johnson, who dialed Jerry Bob, and spread the word to Curtis Martin. Bryce Pop shared the news with Brett Jones. Last but not least was their friend Chris Carter. 1-800-COLLECT was used on all the phones, and they saved a bunch. They saved a bunch. With 1-800-COLLECT, they saved a bunch.
Up to 44%.
For years, ESPN has been working to improve sports for the fan.
Designed to extend the season for fans in places like frigid Lambeau Field, the Toasty Ball is heated by a small plutonium furnace. But at 130 degrees, it's too hot to handle.
But experiments like Toasty Ball did lead to a breakthrough in coverage for all sports. ESPN Net Sports Zone. With Chris Mortenson's column, drive charts, everything you need to be a better fan. ESPN Net Sports Zone. Technology for you.
Primetime Players is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT. The way we call collect today.
My game ball goes to Pittsburgh's Chad Brown, who had 4.5 sacks. Tough to say. As a team, the Steelers tied team record with 10 sacks, beat the Bengals 20-10.
Yeah, Mike, a good game ball goes to Trent Dilfer, 3 touchdowns, an extraordinary day. Congratulations to Tony Dungy on his first win.
And you know what? Changes. My game ball. You know what? The Bucs win. They all get game balls. I know the stats aren't great, but Mike Alstott's effort as a rookie, despite the losses, I think had a big part in why the Bucs won today. We love the way he plays the game, and we'll be back.
If we are lucky, the poets tell us, then we are able to find the passion in our lives. And if we are unlucky, that passion is gone.